hard to get you Black women to take care of yourselves. In this box, a book came in it. Jane Allen wrote a book called Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. It's a fiction book, and it's all about another Black woman going through life trying to figure out what makes sense for her and how to thrive. And inquiries about gifts. Well, I want to get my friend this. Oh, my sister, my auntie, my cousin. What about you, right? Like, how are you intentionally making sure you're creating habits? Right? When you look at the things that are really truly affecting Black women, our heart health, right? And what that looks like, our blood pressure. There's reasons for this. It's because we keep putting ourselves last. And so it's really a messaging thing we're working on now to really get women to think of themselves first when it comes to their welfare and their well-being, right? The makeup, the hair, that stays on lock. The purses, right? Just talking about glamaholic. Yes, the bags. And so it's just one of those things where we are having to explain to women, and really it's an educational thing. The skincare items are usually made by Black women-owned companies, which makes sense for us because it's made for us, by us. We start companies more than any other demographic, Black women. And so it's not hard.
It's time for Big Texas Bossin' with Lalani Wilson-Jones. Spilling the tea on Bossin' Up.
Thank you, Ms. Garner, for joining us today. Our special in-house guest is Ms. Kala Garner with the Betterness Box.
Yes.
I would love to talk about that. Tell us about the Betterness Box and what it has to offer everybody.
Yeah, so the Betterness Box is a lifestyle subscription or a wellness subscription box for Black women. So we are revolutionizing the subscription box industry by introducing habits that will truly help Black women with their welfare and their well-being and how it relates to their health. And so we help them create habits, keep habits, and because we send it out quarterly, our women and our subscribers have 3 months to really indulge in what it is that is in the box and create that new habit around well-being. And so we've been doing it since May 2018, which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
We started off monthly, and there's a whole business story around that. But now we're quarterly, and it just makes more sense for our customers and the company to do that. And we love doing it. It's myself and my line sister from college. We are the co-founders, and she's in Chicago and I'm in Dallas.
Nice, nice. So give us an example of a box for the lady who doesn't know what's in it. Tell us what's in it.
So we curated every season so it changes. However, there are some staples, right? And so we're currently in the We Are Thriving season where we're helping the women really thrive in whatever area it is that they're dealing with in their well-being. And so in this box, a book came in it. Jane Allen wrote a book called Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. It's a fiction book, and it's all about another Black woman going through life trying to figure out what makes sense for her and how to thrive. And so a book, candle, body care, skin care. We have some other intentional things like a grow kit to help you start your own indoor garden. That's included, as well as like a door hanger to help you set boundaries at home. So we designed it. On one side it says open for business, so you can let the kids in, dad can come in, or you flip it around and set that boundary and say, I'm taking a nap time, right? And so just to give them literally the physical and real tools and resources they need to drive habits and get boundaries and really prioritize their health care and self-care.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Now, I'm into skincare. And so tell us what the skincare products typically are in the box.
Yeah, and we source, one of the things that's really about the ethos of our company is we source items from Black women and women-owned companies. So that's another added bonus there with collective economics that we really dedicate ourselves to. And so the skincare items are usually made by Black women-owned companies, which makes sense for us because it's made for us, by us. And one of the things that we put in there are masks. A lot of different companies are in the box. And of course, over 5 years, you can only imagine. But NCHO Botanicals is one of our favorite go-tos for skincare. She's a Black-owned, Texas-based company as well. So a face mask, an oil. Sometimes we do a peel-off mask. Usually there's some kind of body cream in there to help you. And they're usually full-size items. So sometimes we'll include both full-size and banana sample, so you can use the one at home that you have in full size and then take the one with you to travel, because we know our Betterness bays are busy traveling the world.
Right, absolutely. So when you look for the curated Black products, where do you look? How do you find the vendors? Because somebody may be listening that
Absolutely.
is interested, like LEVs. I don't know if you've used
We have
them
had
before,
them in the box
but
multiple
I love
times.
LEVs.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's amazing. Her body butter is that
Everything.
whipped. Girl, listen.
I use that every
My
day.
favorite.
So,
Yes, every day. Yes, I love it. We're definitely huge fans of her business. So I would say if you are a vendor looking to contact us or you're interested in finding out more, definitely go to betternessbox.com. We have a vendor management system, and all you have to do is go to our site, reach out to us. We'll send you to that form. Some of the vendors come to us. We network. We go to a lot of trade shows and things like that to find these companies. But we start companies more than any other demographic, Black women. And
Right,
so it's
we
not
do.
hard to find these companies and these amazing products. And it's really our honor to showcase them and give them a platform to then go out to their target audience and show off all of their items. We even do Wellness Wednesdays and interview founders often to talk about their journey into entrepreneurship and how they created the product that is in the box. And so it's a kind of ecosystem, Betterness Box. It's a society, it's a community, and we really take pride in making sure to highlight those vendors.
Absolutely. Now tell us how many subscribers you have.
Right now, we have about 50 subscribers to the box. We
Okay.
have gone up and down. B2C
Right.
is rough. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it is hard to get you Black women to take care of yourselves. We get so many inquiries about gifts. Well, I want to get my friend this. I want to get my friend this. My sister, my auntie, my cousin. What about you, right?
Right.
Like, how are you intentionally making sure you're creating habits? And so it's really a messaging thing we're working on now to really get women to think of themselves first when it comes to their welfare and their well-being, right? We the makeup, the hair, that stays on lock. The purses, right? Just
Right.
talking
We
about
gotta have the
glamaholic.
bags.
Yes, the bags. And so it's just one of those things where we are having to explain to women, and really it's an educational thing, right? When you look at the things that are really truly affecting Black women, our heart health, right?
Right.
And what that looks like, our blood pressure. There's reasons for this. It's because we keep putting ourselves last. And so for us to automate self-care in a way with Betterness Box, it creates that opportunity to say, no, I'm not going to forget about myself, because now this is just showing up every 3 months, reminding me to set an intention and make sure that I'm intentional about my self-care. So it's been rough to grow it, but we're committed.
Right.
And we've seen many boxes come and go when it comes to wellness, and we're going to stay around for as long as we can, because we know this is something that's important and the market needs it.
Right. I think that's awesome. Do you showcase at Essence or do?
Yeah, so we have gone to Essence, not as a vendor quite yet. What we do is actually this BYOB. So BYOB is build your own box. And so we'll bring a lot of the products there, give you a box, and then you get to kind of shop the area and pick 5 to 6 items that actually speak to you. So it's a more
Wow.
personalized experience rather than the curated kits that we send out. And so we love doing that. We often go to the Manifest Your Purpose markets that are here in Dallas with
Okay.
Soraya, and she is amazing and creates a platform for so many other Black women to come and vend. And so we do that often, as often as we possibly can. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I know your partner is in Chicago. So do you all go between Dallas and Chicago, or do you
Yeah.
mainly practice in Dallas?
We're registered here. You know, we do business
Okay.
out of Dallas. Denise was here last night. She's a new mom.
Oh.
And so she came to the business summit that we went to. She landed at 7:30 in the morning yesterday and flew out at 10:30 at night. So that's the kind of dedication that we have to the business and that she has to our partnership. And so as my sister, like, I've literally known her over 20 years, right?
Oh, wow.
And so for us, it becomes something deeper than just this is a business, right? We're supporting each other in a real way. Like she able to leave, but only for 12 hours, right? She got a baby at home. Yeah, exactly.
Now, where did you and Denise go to college at?
San Diego State University. This weekend is our homecoming. I'm so very excited.
Are you headed out?
Yes, I'm going to homecoming. I'm really excited. I haven't been back in years, and so to see my neos and all my friends, it's going to be great.
That's awesome. Were you born and raised in California?
I wasn't born there, but definitely raised, yes.
In the San Diego area?
In the San Diego area. I grew up surfing. Carlsbad is north San Diego, but yes, grew up surfing in the ocean. I'm basically a fish. My friends call me a mermaid.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. You don't hear about Black girls surfing much.
And I try to, I follow a bunch of them now. There's a little, with social media, you can discover a lot more of them, especially the ones who are doing it competitively. But yeah, the ocean is amazing. It's healing. It's touching the earth, right?
Yes,
so
I love the ocean.
Me too. Me too. It's just relaxing.
Now, I don't surf, but
as long as you get in a little bit,
right? I just dip in the water.
That's perfect.
That is awesome. Yeah. So you all went to college together at San Diego State, and what did you pledge?
Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, of course.
Okay, so you all are Delta Line sisters. Wonderful.
Yes, we are. Yeah, she's my ace. I'm the 4.
Okay.
And we had a great time. We had a great time in college, and we have grown so much. Like, I don't even recognize that girl anymore. So it's really interesting to see the, progression through that. But amazing opportunity to then have a business, with somebody that you've had those experiences with, right? It just means so much more to us.
Absolutely. Now, do you have a degree in business, or what was your degree in?
Which is crazy now that I think about it, because I have like 3 or 4, right? 3 or 4 businesses. But I went to school for political science and Africana studies, which unfortunately is being kind of attacked right now in America. But the fact that I have that degree, I was able to travel to Ghana. I actually lived in Sudan for a while.
Oh, wow.
But yes, I really was like on this trajectory of law school and wanting to change the world through, activism really, and making sure people had the rights that they needed. I even helped advocate for like voting in Sudan when Bashir was in power. And so it's been this really interesting journey for me, because then I came out of that and went into engineering and have been doing that for 13 years. So yeah, I started a business because it's just in my blood. I just don't know how not to do it, if that makes sense.
Right. Now, were your parents entrepreneurs?
Yes. So not my dad so much, but my mom for sure. And I was raised in the house with her. And so I just talked about this actually yesterday on a panel at the Chase Business Summit. Basically, I figured out, and I didn't even realize this until I was preparing for that panel, that my grandmother really started, which is my dad's mom. She started the entrepreneurship kind of thing in our family, at least for what I know. And so she was a beautician. She created her own company. And then from her, I watched my mom living in the house. I mean, I don't know where this woman got the gall and the audacity to create the businesses she did, but we had a painting business growing up where we were painting houses in San Diego. She went and bought like wholesale clothing and then flipped it with a profit at different events. So I grew up like setting up the trade show tents and, with the bricks on the bottom and like all of that. That's what I grew up doing, selling t-shirts, right? All kinds of things. And so I definitely grew up seeing that. And then I started basically in, I would say, 5th or 6th grade.
Okay.
So I've been doing it a long time. Girl, so we had this house in Carlsbad, and there was a dog shed. It was abandoned. I was allergic to dogs and cats and basically anything with pet dander growing up. And so we couldn't have a dog, but it was a huge dog shed, and it was on the side of the house and had access to the sidewalk. And so I went in there, and it was gross and dirty and disgusting, especially in 5th grade. I don't even remember. Was I 12 maybe or 10?
10.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to create this as a business, and cleaned it up and went to Smart and Final. I don't even know if that exists out here in Texas, but it's a wholesale. It's like a mini Costco. And bought candy wholesale and created a candy shop out of that dog shit. And I was just steps down from the school. So people coming from, walking home from school or walking to school, I was open for business. And it was crazy because I just liked making people happy with candy, and whatever I could do, I did that. And then I expanded my business after the candy shop, because I think I eventually just ate all the candy.
That would be me.
Right? We had a small backyard, but we had a backyard that had like this big tree next to it and kind of this area where you could kind of dig, that nothing was growing there. And so I dig these holes and created these paths for a putt-putt course.
Okay.
And I created a putt-putt course in our backyard and just charged admission for anybody who wanted to do it. And anytime they'd really I had it set up where if they hit the ball, it would always be a hole in one. And so it was really cool to see the ball go down these hills and hit this and go down. I don't know where I got these ideas, but I just created them. And I saw, okay, well, you're going to come in my backyard. You're going to pay $5 each time you come back here.
Right.
And so I had that business and then created many others throughout the years. But these are the ones that really make sense to me. They have meaning behind them, right? Betterness Box, or even my real estate. I love doing Airbnb. And so I have a couple of those as well. So I just love business. I love creating experiences. I love designing experiences. So,
well, let's talk a little bit about your design and your Airbnb.
Oh, sure.
Talk about your Luxe design.
Yes. Luxe Homebody is my brand that I'm creating and kind of doing it for fun. Again, I ain't got no time to create another business. And so I do it for friends who really are like, I love your design. Let's do this. But I'm in interior design school right now. I'm going to Dallas College. I'm taking a couple courses. I don't know how, again, I have the time to do this. But because I think I moved around a lot when I was little, I went to a different school for every grade, from kindergarten to ninth grade. Went to a couple. I went to 2 schools in 5th grade, 2 schools in 7th grade. So it was a lot of moving around.
Right.
Never had my own room. And so I remember knowing when I had the opportunity to create my own space, I was going to create my own space. Okay. And so once I bought my home, my townhome in the Irving, Las Colinas area, I've decided to create this amazing place for me and my friends, right? I'm a single woman, but I have all these friends that I've created family around. Right. And so during those Texas shutdowns when the power was off, I had people at my house that entire time I was hosting, and it brought me so much joy. And so I just love creating those experiences. And now I have Airbnbs in Dallas, and I've created the townhome as an Airbnb as well. Okay. And so creating that space was really different because, now you have to appease a broad number of design styles and what does that look like. So looking at trends and things like that. Magnolia Noir House, if you go on Instagram, you can see pictures of Magnolia Noir House, and you'll see what we've created there, which is a boho kind of style. And it's an amazing space to really heal, to have fun, to laugh. And it was a really daunting task because it was, a flipped house, but nothing in it. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. How do you create a space that's cohesive? And so I wanted a theme in each room and created kind of what would it look like to have organic looking designs. That means basically things that you can touch that are from the earth, and then the design of waves and not so many lines and modern. I didn't want to make it too modern, but it was a really fun project to do, and we opened that last year, and it has been amazing since. Yeah, we have some midterm folks in there now, and we get them renewing almost every 3 months, and so it's just making a great amount of money for us, and it's interesting to see because right now in Texas, I don't know if you know, they're kind of shutting down short-term rentals in certain areas, and so.
Are you in one of those areas?
I'm not, because me and my business partner who opened that business, we decided not to buy too far out. So we're just north of Bishop Arts, which is a mixed-use zone, area. And so we're really fortunate to not even have to deal with that. So unfortunately, some of the short-term rentals will shut down in Dallas. but that will help our business, because after those are shut down, our house will probably be booked much more faster than
Absolutely.
some of the others. Yeah.
Now, one thing that I keep hearing recurring in talking to you is about being organic. Is that a California thing, or did you grow up?
It's a good point.
Where your mom and grandma stress being more organic?
Yeah, no, I think it is a California thing. Everybody I meet from Cali, I feel like they're much more into, we're tree huggers, we're hippies, right? And so I'm going to take that anywhere I go. I have been here almost 8-9 years in Dallas, but I don't think there's anything that will take that out of me. I still recycle. I am dedicated to doing all the things right. Yeah, so I think reducing carbon footprint, and then just being drawn to that. There's science behind it, right? It's not like it's just frou-frou thing. I believe in grounding, which is basically making sure you are touching the organic earth and being really, really surrounded by that.
He's over there clapping like, yes. He believes in it too.
Oh, good. I mean, it heals you, right? And so if you think about it, we're constantly wearing shoes and socks. We're not touching, right? When you used to grow up playing outside, I don't know if this was you, but I was outside every day. Okay.
I wasn't outside.
You wasn't outside?
No,
okay.
I was the one that stood and watched everybody.
Everybody out there, right?
And I didn't want to get dirty, right?
Okay. Well, I was the one who was ready to go. And so I just remember feeling just the vitamin D that you get from being outside, right? We know that. Yeah, the sun rays. The way you feel when you go outside and the sun hits your face, that is a real endorphin response. And so you really, I think, have to think about that. I literally just saw yesterday, a friend sent me a video about a breakdown. I guess there's on Amazon Prime, there's a documentary, and it breaks down how the people who have lived the longest have lived that long, and it's because they're outside most of the day. It's because they're not, cooped up in high rises, and they don't even exercise that much. I think it's just being able to connect with the earth. Their homes are made out of wood and stone, right? Things that are of the earth instead of sheetrock and these synthetic things. Their sheets are made out of cotton and linen, right? It's one of those things where I don't think we think about it. We're like, okay, let me get these microfiber sheets, they're soft, and move on. But when you think about all the things that we touch and we interact with throughout the day and the year and our whole lives, it makes sense to be connected to what we come from, which is the earth, right? And so I didn't mean to get all frou-frou on you, but
no, I love it.
That is kind of the part of my philosophy in life.
Okay, because it just seems like it transcends through everything. So I'm like, well, what is the message behind that?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good message, because we get caught up so much in the things that aren't earthly and aren't frou-frou in terms of what we do to ourselves and cosmetics and just how we live. So I think that's an excellent point.
Yeah,
to bring forward.
Altruist Home Healthcare is one of the top accredited home healthcare agencies servicing North and East Texas. With over 25 years of caring for Texas families, Altruist network of staff has become the preferred provider of physical and occupational therapy, wound, post-surgery, and primary care within the comfort of your home. Altruist Home Healthcare works in conjunction with you, your loved ones, and your primary care physician to provide stellar care with honor and integrity. For more information on our services, visit our website www.altruisthhc.com or call us at 214-328-8600. Now back to the show.
So let's talk about the $10,000 award.
Yes.
Tell us all about that. We need all the tea.
Okay.
How did it come about? What was the application process?
Yeah.
And then how were you selected?
Oh my goodness. This might be a short story, because it's not as long as I had no idea that I was just doing it to do it. I got a call from a friend that was helping put together the event. So this is the National Urban League Conference. There's a conference that they have every year. This year it was in Houston, Texas. Chase. And so I flew down. I brought my boxes to showcase them, right? Did all of the things. I have never pitched before. I get so nervous before presenting to folks. Like, I literally get like the shakes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not I do it because, you know, it's needed when you have a business, you got to sell, you got to make it happen. And so I had to just do it. I did have a coach, which helped me, and it was kind of an informal coach. He's our senior business consultant from Chase. So Chase I'm probably mentioned him a couple times already, but they have been so pivotal in our business growth. And so this is the mentorship program for entrepreneurs, free, that you can take part in. There's, I think, like a revenue requirement, but anyone who owns a company, whether certified or not, can have a senior business consultant. And so he meets with us every other week. Oh, nice. His name is Brandon Morris. Yeah, a lot of time spent on this. And so making sure that he helps us throughout our business and whatever we're doing. I mentioned that a friend asked me to participate in this pitch competition at the Urban League conference. And I said yes, just to do it. And he was like, all right, I've got you. I'll help coach you. And so he helped me get down to the 30-second pitch, because that was round one. And then writing the 60-second pitch. So me, Denise, and him kind of workshopped this, my co-founder Denise. And so we were able to get those done. And it was a script, right? Like, to make sure that you stay on time. You don't want to go over time, because that's like a bad thing. You don't want to hear that buzzer. That was like the worst. I just remember thinking, yes, I was like, please don't cut me off. Please don't cut me off. I was so nervous. And so I actually practiced. And I got pretty good. Even the night before, me and my friend Bim, who I was rooming with, she was like, let's do it again, right? She had me on it. And I got through it for the most part. And so I was ready the next day. I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I think I can remember the lines and, you know, the points and the statistics and everything I have to say.
Right.
Girl, I got in that seat right before they called me up and said, there is no way.
I can remember all
There's no way. And as soon as I mess up, it's just going to derail it, right? And so I looked at my phone, and I'm a Christian. I believe God, like, literally is in my life every single moment of my life. Right. And so I said, Jesus, you know this ain't going to work, right? All this preparation. But I just trusted him, and I said, you got to speak through me, because I ain't got it. And I got up. And I said whatever came to my mind. Some of it might have been from what we prepared, but really most of it wasn't. And I think that's what resonated with the judges, right? We had judges that were amazing entrepreneurs and really were, you know, in the industry and had seen pitch competitions before. And so when I got up there, I think they just really resonated with my personality and who it is and who I was and what our mission was, right? Which is, again, even in our B2B side, to create experiences that are meaningful and help employees feel seen and heard. We want Black women to feel seen and heard with Betterness Box, but we really want everyone to feel seen and heard. I mean, that's what we want, right? As humans in this life, we just want to feel seen and known. And so for me to connect with the judges in that way, and the audience, mind you, Mark Morial is in the room, who is the president of the National Urban League. He's in the room. So it was really, really just being in the zone. And once I made it in advance to the second one, because I just thought, oh, okay, I did it. I'm glad I'm done. I did this 30-second one. I sat back down like, I'm done. My friends are behind me, Michelle and Bim. And they're like, oh, no, friend, you're going to make it to the next round. I was like, I don't think so. I think they got it. Girl, they called my name. I was like, dang. Because I knew I wasn't going to remember the 60-second one either, right? Which is round two. I was like, this is so dumb. So for me, getting up there and then just, again, diving into more of the statistics of why we do what we do and the research that we do to make sure our clients are happy, I think that, again, resonated with them. And because I dug deeper into the meaning and the purpose of our company, I think that's what won the check. So if you've seen the clip online, I am shocked. I'm jumping up and down thinking Jesus, because he did it, right? Like he really was what calmed his spirit calmed my nerves. He was the one who I think I relied on, and that's why I think I came out with the win. So first ever time pitching, we were able to win a major national level pitch competition for $10,000, and we got the check like, wow, this is real. Okay, we might have to keep doing this. I'm not really for that, but our business consultant, Brandon's like on me. Okay, when's the next one? When's the next one? So we got to do it. We got to keep going.
Right. Well, definitely congratulations on that one. And let's talk about the Chase Business Conference.
Yes, Chase and Business. Yeah.
Yes.
That was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of networking. And so Chase for Business Summit, it was the Make Your Move Summit. Through that relationship, again, if you're in business, make sure that you do your due diligence to create, these relationships with your banker, with your network, because the relationship is really where you'll get plugged in. And so we were, attendees, we were going to go to the summit, but we became a vendor, right?
Oh, wow.
So, and we became a speaker. I was on we did a fireside chat with one of their executives yesterday as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wonderful.
We did the boxes, and what we did was we spoke on mental health for minority-owned businesses. So minority-owned businesses have a specific challenge, right? We have challenges that are very specific to our type of business. And so for us, it was an honor to create a kit that was really around mental health for gender neutral, right? We made sure the box was for men and women, but to create habits, again, for these minority-owned businesses that will help them pause, right? So calm strips, that I don't know if you've ever heard of these, but they're basically textured strips that help you run your finger down and hold your breath and really help you breathe. We don't breathe. Like most times if you
don't have time to breathe.
Right. But even as resting folks, right? We actually are taking short breaths most of the time. We don't actually use our lungs in the right way. And so this is just a habit forming sticker that you place on the back of your phone. And anytime you want to try to practice breathing a little deeper and be mindful, you run your finger across the word that says inhale, you hold for 3 seconds, exhale for 3, hold for 3 seconds, inhale for 3. It's like a practice to really help you be mindful about your breathing. And it really centers you, right? Because when you're focused on that, you ain't got time to be thinking about the stressful call you just had or whatever that is. So it puts you in perspective and helps you focus. And mindset is what you need. Everything. It's everything. And so for us, it was an honor, like I said, to create this box and other items in there for sure that helped them center themselves. It was 7:30 in the morning. We did the panel, but we gave those boxes to them, and the entire day, folks came up to me like, is there another box? Can we get another one? Right? Trying to figure out how they can also take part in it. And those folks that were in the session really, really were impacted by the conversation, because I was able to get real about what business really is like, right? The sleepless nights, the crying, the drama, the partnership drama, right? Like all of it. It's real.
And so you were able to be candid.
Listen. Yeah. It was a very candid conversation, but it was great to highlight Chase and their involvement in our business, but also what makes sense for business owners to make sure that their mindset is priority, because everything flows from there. If you're the founder and your mindset is everywhere and you're all over the place and unorganized, best believe your business is going to reflect that, right?
It trickles.
Yep,
it does.
absolutely.
It trickles from the leadership, on down, and not the other way. So definitely. That is wonderful.
Yeah, it was a great summit. I loved it.
Good. What were your takeaways from the summit?
So we, of course, made great opportunity connections, but I think overall, with Jace Shetty there and Mark Cuban there and who else was there? The president and CEO of Chase was there. Jamie Dimon was there. And not only was he on stage, he actually was there at dinner where you could come up to him and talk to him and pitch your business if you wanted to. Best believe I did, right? And so I think that one of the takeaways was probably from Jay Shetty's presentation, he had people getting up, moving around. He kind of put us in these quadrants. If you were people focused and you were kind of salesy, you were in the first quadrant. If you were people focused but you were task oriented, you were in another quadrant, right? He kind of had us move around, and because Denise and I were there, we were able to see, like, where you gonna move? Oh, I'm over here. And we're co-founders right now. We don't have titles.
Right.
We know we're at a point in our business where we have to start to define those roles. And so this helped us actually get to the point where I will now be CEO and she will be COO. And it made so much sense to us through that activity that he took us through, because now we're like, oh, this is why you belong in that role, and this is why you belong in this. Take ego out of it, take all of it out of it. This is what makes the most sense. Are we really trying to do this? Let's do it. And so that was a great takeaway that I had.
That's wonderful. It sounds like an awesome experience.
Yeah.
And for our listeners who are curious, we're going to have one additional question. How do you get a seat in the room? I know we kind of visited that a little bit before, but let's talk about, because our audience is typically someone who's interested in engaging in business or let's talk about getting a seat in the room, how that happens.
Yeah. I spoke about this a little bit at the summit as well. And I think there is something that minority-owned businesses have, and we have to stick to and really embrace, and it's the audacity to do the things we're doing. The audacity to start a business from an idea and do it as Black women, Black people, people of color in this country is audacious. It's very challenging. And so when you think about what that looks like in the thread of your company, that means you're asking questions. That means you are making it make sense when you're asking questions about being in the room. And so ask the questions, make sure to have the I guess it's the confidence to say, I belong here, right? And so it starts with you. Get your mindset right? Get your mindset right, and then say to yourself, okay, I belong in this room. Ask the questions and reach out. Reach out to people who are doing it, right? That look like you. I promise you they'll be open to helping you and putting you in the room and getting you at those tables. And sometimes you don't need to be at the tables. We weren't at the table when Chase said, we want you to create these boxes. We just got the call to do the work, right? So have those conversations in relationships as well. It's not always about being at the table. It's about your goals and your strategic goals that you have in your company. And that was one of them. I don't have to be in the room. As long as somebody's there who's advocating for me is in the room, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think when it comes to juggling all the things, it is an understanding that you can't do all of it, which is completely revolutionary from what we were probably raised to believe as Black women. We can do it all. We're superwoman. No, we're not. Our Black does crack, right? All of the stress that we put under ourselves, we may not see it on the outside, but our organs are actually breaking down. Again, look it up, y'all. Because we're so stressed. And so for me, I do it all by asking for help. I do it all by making sure I have great team members that are on my team that I can delegate.
Critical.
Absolutely. I'm going to delegate to you, and then I'm also going to delegate my home life to you. I have a cleaner. I don't clean my house. I have a cleaner who comes and cleans my house. I get a chef to either come in and try to make my meals, or I have food prep that's, a really good local business to help me do that, so I don't eat these frozen meals all the time, right? Really, really thinking about the things that your time will be much more useful in, and making sure that you're taking out the time to take care of yourself. And so I delegate as much of my personal life and my business life to the people who do it best. So that my energy can be used on the business. So that's how I do it.
Okay, that's wonderful. I wouldn't say I do it quite that way, but I do a lot. The biggest thing that you said that resonated as far as being a similarity would be that I do delegate and have an excellent management team that I work with on a daily basis to make sure that we're executing. I mean, my home life, there's always room for improvement there.
Girl, same.
But I stay focused more on the business life. When I had my kids at home, of course, I did things different. I had to have people help me manage between their activities and the household things. I do have a cleaning lady. She probably needs to come more than once a week. But
and that's possible, right?
Right? That works for me now. So the biggest thing, though, when you have multiple businesses, is trying to keep your eye on everything going on, but making sure that you have people who are responsible and accountable. And that would be my biggest takeaway or advice to anybody, because you can't do it all, but you need to find ways to measure what's going on frequently. Some people say, oh, I've got a business, and they walk away, and then they come back and it's a disaster, and you wonder why it's a disaster. You didn't pay attention these last 3 months, and the staff is going to say, well, we told you, we tried to tell you, we called you, weren't available, so being available and being open to the assistance.
Oh, I love that. That's great advice. Thank you, because we're looking to expand our team, so I needed that advice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
People don't realize that in the beginning it's a grind and it's a hustle. So you have to figure out the difference or make it all work. So you're grinding on your 9 to 5, but you're hustling for your business. And so I remember a few years back, over 25 years, 30 years now probably, but just the grind and the hustle of it, working and starting with my mother. We were in the house and just starting the home care business and working out of making a bedroom an office. So I definitely know about, the starting from the boots on the bottom, so to speak, and working your way up. And that's what it wasn't said, but it was said, and that was the one point that I would definitely speak to.
What did your support system look like around that? Because I feel like I probably need to be a little bit more intentional about who I have around me for this season specifically.
Definitely, who you surround yourself with is very important in whatever you're doing, because that's going to define the direction that you're going. Those people have impressions on you, whether or not you think it. And so it cultivates everything you're doing. And at that time, because I was in college still and I was working full time, I had her, around me. So there wasn't a lot of time for a lot of other things that I like to do. But it's about being intentional in everything you do. And I knew that at an early age. So.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in to Big Texas Bossin Podcast. If you like these conversations, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on all social media platforms at Big Texas Bossin. Tag us on social at #BTB.